I hate Destiny 2. It's my favorite game. This is seemingly the mantra of the average Destiny player. It's a confusing game to really dissect. The fan base almost synonymously agrees that the game is absolute garbage, yet they each have a minimum 300 hours clocked in. This is the playtime that a friend of mine has on the game. Yeah, that's not healthy. But why? What makes this game so enticing? Destiny 2 is a drug. It's like a toxic girlfriend. It pulls you in with that polished exterior, but there's a dark underbelly to this seemingly fun game that you can never truly escape. But to fully understand this, I need to share with you my experience with the Destiny franchise. So, Destiny 1 comes out in September 2014. It was pretty fun, but also very grind heavy. And after the main story was finished, it had very little content. I got the game on sale during Black Friday after playing the demo for a bit. I played it for the next few weeks, but the game ran out of content very fast. But I wasn't paying another $40 for the expansion pass, which consisted of content that was already in the game. Activision classically doing a little bit of trolling, so I sold the game for $15 at a local game store since it was relatively new to buy a copy of Splatoon for my Wii U. Yeah, I had my priorities straight. Fast forward to the Taken King expansion. At this point, it had been over a year since I had owned the game, and there was a very strange set of circumstances that pulled me back in. Up until this point, I had made it my firm position that I was not spending another cent on that awful, horrendous game. I wasn't gonna buy the expansion just so I could grind. That's not the type of epic gamer that I am. Then a magical event occurred. You might call it magical, you might call it terrible. Either way, it happened. My friend Gabe, who starred as the lead in the Jonny RaZeR Christmas special, gave me a proposition. He had bought the Legendary Edition, which had all the DLCs and the base game, and he broke his game disc. But he had a warranty for the Legendary Edition that comes with all the DLC. So he said, Johnny, I have all the DLC codes for Destiny for free. All you need to do is buy the base game and you'll be good to go. So I thought about it for a while, and eventually I found myself at one of the most forsaken places on planet Earth, GameStop. Drawn to it like a banned kid to Reddit. And there sat a used copy of the base game for $10, which is less than what I sold it for, so big win. So I did the unthinkable, and I bought it. I'd effectively made a net positive by selling and rebuying Destiny. It was a genius plan, the long con. NFT investors everywhere clapped in unison, for I had made the greatest investment of all time. Then I played the game for the rest of the DLC season, and there was a lot of great moments during this time. Some of my top 10 favorite gaming moments of all time were during this game. Like the time my friend fell asleep mid-fight during a raid, the most intense part of the game. He just fell asleep. What a dummy. Then came Rise of Iron. No longer could you play Destiny on the Xbox 360, so it was time to get the game and the DLC again. But I said, no shot, and convinced Gabe, who had given me the DLC codes the year prior, to game share it with me, so I didn't have to pay Activision or Bungie any more money for this stupid dumb game. And he did it like a champ. The DLC was fun. The raid was Rage Against the Machine or something. I had a good time. But that was Destiny 1, and it was Destiny done. It was time for Destiny 2. This was when I switched over to PC and became a true degenerate, probably would be the best way to describe that. I got the game, I played the raid, it was fun, but I gave up on it pretty quickly. I stupidly bought the DLCs and didn't even play them. I spent $80, and now the content isn't even in the game anymore. What was I thinking? I really need to reevaluate some decisions, some choices, probably. But I said, screw this game. It isn't fun. Trash game, very bad. You get the picture. And that was until they released crossplay a few months ago, and I forked over another $60 and then probably like 100 more on the next DLC season. What am I doing? I should probably get therapy. That's probably the correct answer to this conundrum. Oh, and the day after I bought it, it became free on Xbox Game Pass. So really great financial decisions on my part, but I'm back on my grind and honestly having more fun with the series than I ever have. So yeah, I'm definitely in denial. Destiny is truly a toxic girlfriend. We'll fight, we'll break up, we'll wait like a month, and then we always just come running back to each other with open arms, only to hate each other for like the next month and then break up and then come back. It's a vicious cycle of pain. But the reason that I come running back every time is something that Destiny does better than the vast majority of multiplayer games, and that's good good co-op. The majority of my fun in this game comes from playing it with my friends, and without that, you're not gonna have a good time. Like, if you don't have friends, don't play this game. I think the most fun, the most engaging, most creative part of Destiny is the raids. Destiny raids are why I love gaming. 6 absolute sweaty gamers and 1 challenge. 3 of them have never done it before. 1 has done it 60 times, and 1 shouldn't even technically be able to do it because he's too low light. This is what dreams are made of. Destiny raids are unlike anything else in the entire game. There's difficult puzzle mechanics that are skill-based rather than level-based. There are incredible cinematic moments, fun environments, weird bosses, strategizing. This is what it means to be a gamer. You got through the encounter after 20 tries with your colorblind team that can't tell left from right, and the success is its own reward. Because you are getting the raid exotic. Imagine. This brings us to the ugly part about Destiny, and that's the RPG mechanics. This game, while amazing and super fun from a level design standpoint, is a terrible RNG numbers game half the time. You could do the thing that you need to do for the gun that you want, but never get it because the game just doesn't feel like giving it to you, and then you gotta wait a week to do it again. It's pain. Or you can get the gun you want, but then it doesn't have the perk that actually makes it useful. And that's what really turns me off about this game. When you reach a certain point, leveling up becomes this super slow grind where you have to do the same few activities over and over and over again just to get the chance, the glimmer of hope that you might maybe get better gear. It's painful. The RNG, the grind, the removal of content that was in the game from the beginning because, oh, file size is too big, guys. Need to make smaller. It all just makes this game so much worse. Like, Call of Duty takes up a whole hard drive at this point. Let me have the content that I paid for, please. I surprisingly enjoyed the base campaign for Destiny 2. It wasn't anything special, but it was fun. It was a fun little ride. The tower gets destroyed, so you have to build a new one. You gotta fight Gary. But now it isn't in the game anymore, and instead you do the intro from Destiny 1, which they ported over, replacing the campaign. They brought other stuff back. Why? And they killed off Cade 6, which was like the only interesting character that the game had. And now they're removing that entire storyline as well to make room for new stuff. Why? I'm a big proponent of game preservation, so by default, MMOs just bring me immediate hardship because they're bound to go offline one day. But removing part of a game completely undermines its existence in the first place. They're basically removing something that was an integral part of the game's identity, so no one can ever experience it again, which I think is honestly wrong. It discredits the devs that painstakingly sculpted this world. It stops anyone from experiencing it for themselves ever again. It's not like a movie that you can just rewatch or you can like upload to YouTube or something. Like, you can't watch somebody else's Destiny playthrough and truly get the experience of a raid, and that's a tragedy. But aside from the game itself, my biggest qualm with Destiny 2 is the monetization techniques. Now, I'm not a fan of the yearly DLC, but I get it. You have one game that you're constantly adding new content to, sure, go ahead. You need to make money after all. But if that's how you're gonna make money, stick to that. But Destiny 2 has not only a yearly paid DLC, but different tiers to said DLC, which give you tangible gameplay affecting items that you can't get anywhere else, a battle pass, additional paid content like the anniversary stuff, which was cool, but still $25 on top of the $40 that you're gonna have to spend for the next DLC, and another $40 for the deluxe edition with the battle pass and access to all the exotics from the past content that you missed because it's not in the game anymore, and an in-game cosmetics shop where you can only get certain items and certain gear in a game where the whole point is getting certain items and certain gear. But Johnny, it is as bad as when Activision was in charge. Yeah, I don't care if it was worse then. Bungie still obviously learned a thing or two from them, because while they may be a little bit better now, they still have like 40 revenue streams from this one game that's free to play. This game is not free to play. There is a cost, and it is your soul, and like a minimum $40 annually. As you can see, I have a lot of mixed feelings about this game. While Destiny can be a grind-heavy, unbalanced, near pay-to-win catastrophe, I still love it. I feel like the victim of an abusive relationship. It's one of those games where everyone is in the same boat, though. It sucks equally for all, and that's what's so fun about it. When you're in a call with the homies and the friend who ran the raid for the 9th time still hasn't gotten the gun they want, it is a symphony of agony. We're all together in this vicious cycle that we call Destiny 2, and there's a sense of magic in that. The shared pain brings everyone closer together, and when you finally see the light at the end of that tunnel for a brief moment, when Vex Mythoclast appears in your inventory, the high is only that much higher. Because what is light without darkness? What is joy without pain and suffering? This is the Destiny experience. It's a drug that feeds on the most nihilistic masochists in the world. Destiny 2 is a pimp, and you are its subjects. I think the biggest reason that people hate this game is because they love it so much and want it to be better. They see the flaws in their 200-day time sink of a game, and they just want to see them improve. They hate losing parts of their game. They hate seeing scummy, just awful monetization practices used in it. They hate Destiny 2. It's their favorite game. Destiny definitely isn't for everyone. By all means, please stay away. Do not let me convince you into wasting your time or your money on this awful, abysmal game. It's just a game that creates that perfect environment for the boys, laughing together, crying together. This is the Destiny experience, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But with that being said, I hope to see you in the next one.